Live from Florentine. This
Ready?
is Eli and Itzik Talk Show.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel again, Eli Razimor Apter. As always, I'm glad to see all of you back here again, and I have Itzik with me here for another coupley video. We promised you in the previous video, on this one, or this video, it was right here. We promised you that we're going to do a talk video where we discuss our age difference.
We have an age difference?
A little one. It's just by a couple of
Just
months.
like-
Just I promise it's not that big.
Only 15 years.
It's not a
and
big
11
deal.
months.
He's 40 and I'm 24.
You don't have to say the age.
But my usual spiel, before we continue, subscribe to this channel, click the ring bell so next time I post, you will get notified. How many times can I say it? Let's go. My husband is 40 and I'm 24.
31, 39 and 12 months.
39 plus, that's what he is, and I'm 24 minus, 24 plus. I don't know what I just said. But this is our age difference, and for many couples, ooh, that barking is loud. There's a 15 years and 11 months age difference between us, and this is not your typical couple, not even in the straight community, not the gay community, not any community. Usually, couples are around the same age, which is what I realized growing up in the last year or two.
Usually, but there are many couples that they have age difference.
Right.
Not-
My parents have
they're
a
not the
4-year
only
age
one.
difference, but
No.
not a 16. We have 4 times the age difference of my parents.
Let's talk about Madonna and her boyfriend.
Boyfriends.
Okay.
Which one? She has a boyfriend now?
I don't think the last one.
How
They
old
had
is
like
he?
20-something years age difference between them.
Okay, unlike our relationship, that relationship was probably for a lot of money.
Ouch.
Yeah, so what I meant to say is that this relationship is true love. And by the way, we're filming from Florentine roofs. We live in this area. It's one of the hippie areas in Tel Aviv, and the atmosphere is so nice right now. And the air is so clean and just fresh that we wanted to film here instead of our closed-off balcony. So when I had a crush on Itzik, I knew that he was much, much older than me, and so did he. He knew my age from the beginning. But we just let our feelings be. We just liked each other. We had feelings toward each other. When we became a couple, we still continue loving each other, and we love each other till this day.
Yeah,
Love
but-
was never a problem.
Of course, love was never a problem, but I had a problem. I didn't.
But in the very beginning of
in the very beginning, I didn't look at you as a potential boyfriend.
That's right.
Because of the age difference. Because
And as we talked about it in this video, by the way, so I'm reminding you again. Go watch it if you haven't, because it's a prequel to this video. So you should go watch it, and then you'll understand exactly what we're referring to. Why was me such a problem to you? I mean, I was good looking in your
you were
eyes.
very young. I'm very old.
What's wrong with being young?
Nothing wrong.
But you're young-hearted.
I know, but still, I have my own wishes that I want to complete. Like, I want to have family, I want to have kids, and most of the people in your age,
Most of them, that's
they
right.
don't think about those stuff yet.
And
And I don't have time to waste, you know, I can date young guys, have fun, but
that's right.
eventually I have to start my own family.
That was Itzik's thought process before we became a couple. And in my head, I didn't take these things seriously because, from my perspective, I just like this guy. Yes, he's much older than me. I had all these justifications, like, so what if he's much older than me? So I remember saying that it doesn't really matter because we have a really good chemistry. We should actually pursue it because even though we won't be together in a year or 2 or 3, at least we tried something and we're not gonna regret it in the future. But that was easy for me to say
it's
from
easy
my
for you
side.
to say, because for me, 2, 3, 4 years, it's a lot.
You're
Because
already
I'm not getting
trying
young. Yes, I know that in my next relationship, it has to be serious. It has to be a relationship that has potential for marriage, for kids, for family, not something to have fun with.
At the end, I managed to convince Itzik, not just managed to convince, but he realized that it's worth taking a risk for, because I guess I was worth taking a risk, and here we are, 2.5 years later, we're still here.
Basically, it's because I realize how much mature and different you are than the regular, typical
That's right.
21 years old guys.
For most of the time, I didn't, when I was just doing hookups and stuff, I also didn't like guys around my age. I didn't connect with guys around my age. I felt like they're too immature. I felt like I was so mature that I could like teach them stuff, and it wasn't challenging to me intellectually. So I was physically attracted to guys older than me, and I also like the intellectual part of it, so that I can discuss with them, get inspired by them. And when I say older, I don't mean like daddy's older. I don't mean like people who are in their 45 or late 40s or 50s. Even though there's a lot of people in that age who still look young and act young-hearted, my general type was around like mid-30s. And Itzik, when I met him, he was 37. So I gave him an exception. Like it was 37 wasn't that bad.
And now, 2.5 years after.
So 2.5 years later, I'm still in a very comfortable position, but in the middle of a relationship. So shortly after Itzik proposed to me, I started entering this stage of questioning everything. Questioning not just a relationship, but questioning everything in my life. I feel like it's just like a part of my maturing. Like I was 23, becoming 24, and I feel like 22, 23, 24, every single year you mature and you change as a person significantly, and you become a different person than the person you were before. So I started questioning everything and where I am in life and where I am with the relationship, which at that point I felt very comfortable with. But just everything that Itzik would tell me in the past and everything everyone would tell me like that could be challenging in this relationship because of the age difference, I started questioning it at that moment. And then I realized that...
And it's funny because all the things that I was worried about before we started the relationship and you weren't worried at all, like you said, it's nothing, it will be okay, because if we'll be together for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, then we won't feel the age difference, then we will love each other and it doesn't matter how old you want to be and stuff like that. And then you started to question all the things that I questioned before.
Right, but he already felt comfortable with it.
Very comfortable.
Because he already saw the relationship, you saw who I am. And
because you convinced me.
Okay, I convinced you, but we kept being a couple and we kept working. I didn't convince you forever. I convinced you for that moment.
I know.
And it's working till today. Suddenly I started seeing couples around me because I was in this questioning mode. So I started seeing things that I'm questioning. I started seeing couples who are mostly around the same age. I realized my parents are around the same age, my brother and his wife. Most of my friends are around the same age. Most of his friends, the straight and gay friends, everyone around the same age. So our relationship is definitely exceptional, and it's not something most people would do. I realized what I got myself into. Even though when I say got myself into, it sounds like a big deal. But the big dealiness of it was only in my head, because at the very core, at the very end, we're still very good friends. We had a very strong connection in terms of communication and love. That wasn't affected. Everything that was affected, that I thought was affected, was just in my head. And at the very end, I realized that all of this wasn't, the age difference wasn't the problem. It's just, I realized today that it was an age, it was a time period when I was questioning everything, and it was fine for me to question the relationship too. I remember I talked to one of my friends, Anat, and she told me it's completely fine that you're questioning everything that everyone always told you about, because when people would tell me things, I would like block it off. I'm like, no, it's fine, we love each other with this, with that. I would block it off. I was more defensive than understanding what's happening. Because I remember my parents also asking, it doesn't bother you that he's much older than you and this and that?
Basically, it doesn't matter what kind of gap do we have, because every couples have their own obstacles, every couples have their own things that they have to overcome. And in our relationship, maybe it's the age difference, but until now, we don't feel it at all, because
we only feel it when we think about it.
Yes, because we have the same goals.
Oh,
the same
sometimes
dreams.
wait. Sometimes I want to stay at a party, you want to leave. Sometimes I want to go to a party, you don't want to go to it.
But it's rarely
That's
happening.
my still
Usually,
young drive, wanting to do things that you already feel like you've already done. You did already.
Many times I wanted to go to a party and you didn't want to.
Many times.
Okay, so that's what I say. We still have the same goals. We still have the same things that we want to pursue in life.
That's a very
young-hearted. You want kids at the early age.
I want kids earlier than most people around my age, and I always wanted that even before I met Itzik. Even before I went out of the closet, I knew I wanted to create a family as soon as possible, because generally I want to be a young dad, and I feel like I want to use my energies to raise someone healthy and happy, and I feel like my young-heartedness and my young energy would be the best for that. I'm not saying you're not energetic, I'm saying from my own personal perspective.
The things that works for us the best is that we both have the same ideas about our future, we both have the same goals, we both love to do most of the
similar things
together, and we love each other very much. And I think that's enough.
And I mentioned that in my speech that I gave to Itzik in my wedding. So the wedding speech that I said to Itzik, I mentioned that we have the proper relationship tools that work for us, and the proper love that works for us, that no age gap and no continental gap and no cultural gap would tear us apart. Because at the very core of a proper relationship is not that you're going to be the same age, but it's that you love each other first, you're attracted to each other, you have mutual expectations of this relationship and mutual expectations about each other's lives. So what do you want from each other? It has to be cleared out in the very beginning and has to be constantly communicated.
And communication.
And
Just
I was gonna say that number 4 is
talk
communication,
about
communication,
everything,
communication.
all the time.
As
If
a self-
something bothers you, talk about it.
As a self-proud person who thinks things can just be solved on their own, or I can just fix them on my own, in a relationship it doesn't work that way, because your partner might have done something to you that bothers you, and he doesn't know that it bothers you unless you communicate it. And being passive-aggressive and like ignoring them or just being mad at them without them understanding what's happening is not gonna solve it. It's just gonna stir it up even more until it's gonna explode in a fight or in something very uncomfortable. So the 4 main things to get out of this video for you to have a happy and a healthy relationship based on our personal experience, regardless of what cultural gap you have, what political gap you have, if you're a fascist or a communist, no, I'm joking. Cultural gap, age gap, religious gap, no matter what gap you have, the 4 main things to consider are
Love,
trust,
communication,
and mutual expectations. If you have all these 4 and you're always aware of them and you always talk about them, I'm assuming and I feel like you will have a very happy and good relationship. And if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it won't.
yeah. Even if you're in the same age,
Yeah.
and there is no age gap in between you, there are many other stuff that could go wrong in a relationship.
That's right. That's something that took me some time to realize. And if ever, God forbid, Itzik and I will not be a couple in the future, that will never ever happen. But if it will definitely not be because he's one age and I'm another age. It will be because many other factors, but this cannot and should not be a factor. You should not ever think about it. If your relationship doesn't work, I'm just talking and talking and talking, and Itzik is looking at me that I need to shut up.
I'm talking too much.
So this was Eli Razimor Apter with his other half, Itzik Apter Razimor. Thank you for watching this video. We have a really exciting video in the future about our engagement and then about our wedding. And then we're definitely going to do many more videos together because we're realizing you are liking them. So there's going to be a lot of me and a lot of us coming up in this channel.
Good to know.
All right, mutual expectations. You see,
Yes.
This is something we didn't talk about and we need to talk about it even more. He's going to be very much more involved in this, but this is for us to do privately. Like this video. Comment whatever your thoughts are about this topic. Do you feel that you have an age gap with your partner or any other gap that can be fixed through communication? And share this video and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification button so you can get notified next time we post. And I'll see you next week as I do in every Wednesday. Bye. Close it with me.